What's going on, everybody? Today I want to show you a couple lines in what's called the ALBIN countergambit. Now this happens after white plays d4 and you're going to play d5, and more than 50% of the time your opponent's going to play c4 because they want to play Queens Gambit. They expect you're going to accept it, you're going to do one of the decline lines or something like that. No, 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 no. Boom. You want to play a gambit? We could play a gambit. And this is called the ALBIN countergambit. It sets up a couple of really nice traps and can get in a really good position, a good winning position, especially if you know your stuff. I'm about to show you a couple lines. First, I'll show you the less common line. Then I'll show you the trap that everyone's seen before. It's happened in one of my earlier videos. And then at the end, I'll show you a bullet game that I played and recorded, and you'll see it actually happened in a live game. There's also one earlier a couple years ago that happened on my channel. It happens all the time. But first I want to show you another line that happens all the time as well. I wouldn't call it a trap. It's kind of a trap. There's a few little trappy positions, but it almost always works. And that is after, now first of all, you need to know what happens here because there's lots of options. The two moves we're going to look at are the regular pawn takes. We'll take a look at that second. But first I want to look at what happens when the knight comes out here. You have to know what to do. You're going to see this a lot. Knight comes out to c3. What the heck do I do? I used to just take here because it just felt the more natural move. It seems more instinctual. And then I learned this is terrible. This is not the right move. The best move is to take here. Looks kind of weird. And 9 times out of 10, maybe 8 times out of 10, but a lot of times your opponent, if he does take here, well, you can just trade queens. But and you're going to be doing just fine. But if he pushes this pawn, which is very common, what you want to do here is bring out your knight to attack it. So you're attacking it twice. He's defending it twice, but he is probably going to play just instinctually e4. You want to play e4 anyway. You want to build a nice, strong pawn center. It's just the natural move, even though it's not the best move. It's what they're going to play. And you're going to play this shocking move right here, and it is b5. And your opponent's going to be like, what is going on? What is b5? This is insane. I just can take that. And he will take it oftentimes. And then you instantly take this pawn. So what are we looking at here? He's thinking, your opponent, he or she is going to be thinking, this is a crazy position. And neither one of us have been in this position more than likely. And black doesn't know what he's doing. They're going to be completely wrong on that. We know exactly what we're doing. And when white thinks, well, there's surely no problem with taking this pawn, and they're going to take this pawn, and that's when we throw in this check right here, bishop to b4 check, and now white's going to have a lot of problems. Now, first thing white's going to want to do is block it, like with something like this. But this doesn't work. If knight comes back here, well, we can just take, because after he takes back, take with the bishop, we're going to take the rook. So hopefully you can see that line. If the bishop tries to block, that's no good because we have two attackers here. We're going to throw in a check, and he can't recapture unless he wants to lose his queen. So hopefully you can see that. So blocking is no good. Queen block, we take the queen. There's really no block right here that's good. So more than likely the king's going to move. Moving down here, I've never seen it. It just doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel very safe. And it's probably not. So more than likely it's going to be king to f1. And then I like, personally, you could castle, you could play a6, you could play other moves. I just go straight for this. Knight takes on f2. Now, this is a fork right here. I'm forking the queen and the rook. I'm on a heavy attack right here. Very unlikely that your opponent's going to do anything other than capture right here. In fact, that is the best move, is to capture, because he knows that he's going to leave his rook or his queen hanging. You know, there is this idea of queen down here to a4, which is not bad. You could just castle. You're doing just fine. Castle, and queen wants to take here. You're just going to go ahead and take the rook, and you're doing just fine right here. Black is better. But more than likely, the king will take. And then queen to h4. I've been in this position many times. White has to be very careful. He's going to play g3, and then you swing over here, and you have absolute winning position right here. Hopefully you have time. This bishop's ready to throw in a check, and you're just ready to completely checkmate this guy or girl. Because after queen to e2, trying to trade, then we have bishop to c5 check. Things are looking very good for black right here. So many different variations. I don't want to go over every single one. You're welcome to study this position. But the main thing here, to get in this position, to get in this winning position right here, which you're going to get in a lot. Trust me, every single time it's going to go a little bit different. But what is going to go the same is when you play b5, that knight's taking, then you take here, and more often than not, Bishop's going to take here, and you throw in this check. And from here, you can feel good because this king has to move. You've already gained a victory. If the king doesn't move, as we've explained, you're going to get a huge advantage. King's going to move probably here. And then I like this move. You're welcome to look at this in analysis boards and find other moves as well. But I like this move because I'm pretty sure king is taking. I like this check. Pretty sure this move's coming in. And then this position, I very rarely blow this position right here. This is just an absolute winning position. One thing to keep in mind is this check. Sometimes you can even allow this. But just keep that in mind that this check is coming in. So you might want to get castled as soon as you can. Also, there's moves like bringing the bishop out to here is sometimes playable. Lots of different lines in this position, but at the end of the day, you've gotten a very strong winning position as black out of the opening. So let's take a look at the other main position that you're going to get in, or one other main position. There's lots of positions you can get in with this ALBIN counter gambit. I'll show more lines in future videos, but this is the main trap, and I'm sure that if you all play this, you know about it. But I do want to show it really quick. That is when the pawn takes here. That's the main line. So instead of knight coming out here, which if the knight comes out here, you take with the D pawn. But if he takes here, you push. If knight here, you just play knight here. That's a main line. And after that, oftentimes I like to bring this knight, swing it over here. We have two attackers on this pawn. Just depending on what they do. For example, a main line could be knight here, A3. I like to bring my knight here. And I'm getting ready to swing over here. So that's just one idea. But today we're looking at what if he doesn't bring the knight out and plays this move right away, which happens often. You know, they just want to try to undermine that pawn right away because his pawn's looking like it's making some progress. They're like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of that pawn. Well, you throw in the check. 9 times out of 10, maybe 95 times out of 100, bishop's going to block. It just seems like the more natural move than playing the knight over here. If the knight does come over here, you're still fine. You just take here, takes back, and you have this check. And here, and you can actually move the queen. Yeah, you can move the queen here because of the pin right here. And black is doing just fine. And notice you're attacking the rook right here. So instead of all that, let's look at bishop blocks. This is good. You're going to see this most of the time, and you take here. I like to take immediately so that white thinks that you blundered a piece. If you take your time, white might think, oh, he's figured something out. So I like to take this immediately. As soon as I see this bishop, I take immediately, and 9 times out of 10, this happens. And then you can go ahead and take here with check, and you can see you're attacking his queen, so he can't recapture. A couple of times I've had the king recapture and just miss this, and I just take the queen. But more than likely, king will come here. And this is where the key move is. You have to, there's only one really winning move here, and that is to take and promote to not a queen, but a knight, because it throws in the check. If you promote with a queen, he has time to trade queens here and then take your queen. Don't want that. You want to throw in this check. So when rook captures here, you can throw in this check, and you can see you're double attacking the queen. Game is over. So you're absolutely going to win this game. That is the second one, and I'll finish off to show you a live bullet game that I was playing. I was just recording it and talking over my games, and this exact thing happened, and he resigned immediately. It happens all the time. So you guys have a fantastic day. Hit that subscribe button for more chess content, and we'll talk to you next time. Well, let's try one more. Let's get 3 wins. We need 3 wins. That one went wrong. Things went wrong. I was winning, and I blew it. Let's play this. Push here. Okay, bishop's going to come out. I'm going to take here. We're going to get this trap in. Oh, yep, game over. Ball game's over. Fell right into it. LASKER trap for the win. LASKER trap for the win. And that's good.